Hello everyone, welcome back to another banger of a video from Sekioite here. Today we'll be checking out top 13 tips and tricks of Stellaris. In this video we'll cover such tips and tricks as how to boost your research, how to get better economy, how to manage your economy better, what kind of fleets you should have in the late game, and also some life features that help you ensure that your planets are running at maximum optimization rather, sorry. And if you follow some of these tips and tricks in this video, you should be able to see your empire overall improve. New content like this, or leave a comment to show that you want to see some other kind of content. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off at number 1, we have hydroponics bays. These can provide up to 10 base food for only 1 base upkeep of energy. This can be further upgraded with the further researches like nano vitality crops, which grant plus 10 food from starbase constructions. Coming in at number 2, we have planetary specializations. So you click this menu and you can go through all these different types of planetary designations. A lot of these can provide powerful bonuses such as 25% tactician output, increased alloy or decreased alloy upkeep, increased refinery production, or decreased researcher upkeep. You can combine these with various planets, such as this one, to provide way more research at way less the cost of consumer goods. Up to 20%. Take, for example, 141 right now, but let's say this was a generator world, now it's 160 instead, which can provide much needed resources if you are tight on your economy. You can also combine this with generator worlds to provide a whole bunch of energy credits. See, right now we're producing 198. If we switch this, only 169. That's quite a bit of a difference as well if you are trying to get a large production base. Alright, now on to number 3 here. Now, one of the first worlds you should colonize should be a tech-focused world. But there are several things you should consider before choosing the planet you colonize. For example, habitability. You can see from the penalties from this habitability of this planet that you would get plus 45% pop upkeep, minus 22% pop growth speed, and minus 22 resources from jobs. So you're going to want to choose a planet that's more closer to your population support. So you want to colonize that planet and then wait for it to get over there and colonize it. Now, once you have your first colony established, you want to build 1 to 2 city districts, and once those are complete, you want to do some city labs, and as well as you can probably keep it as a colony for now, because those bonus amenities and stability will make really good for beginning your tech world. But once you get to a certain point, you should make sure to switch your colony over to a tech world to get that bonus lab build speed and bonus researcher upkeep. Building on tip number 3 and tip number 4, empire capitals have plus 5 stability, plus 10 amenities, and plus 10 resources from jobs. Now, this would make great for another tech world if you are so inclined to make this into another specialization, because the great stability will provide more resources. The high amenities will allow you to not need as many jobs to keep up happiness and approval, as well as in the plus 10 increased resources from jobs, providing plus 10% research to your colony. Now on to tip number 5. Once you have battleships researched, you'll want 2 different types of fleets. One entirely made out of corvettes, these kinds, and you'll want to max out the evasion on these ships. The point of the corvette-only fleet is to do a high-speed, high-evasion fleet that'll take little damage towards fighting heavier ships with slower weapons, as they'll miss more and you'll be able to get more damage output with least amount of damage to your ships. Now you get the battleship fleet. These are going to be your heavy hitter ships, and you'll want to equip them with either neutron launchers or several other ones. But if you're not so much into that, you can probably just have them auto-equipped. These heavy hitting ships will go into combat farther away, while your corvette ships will be getting close and circle around the opponent, basically making sure that the battleships don't get hit, while the corvettes try to absorb the damage or get their high evasion of 90% to avoid taking damage altogether. Now on to tip number 6. You'll notice on different kinds of planets there might be different kinds of modifiers, such as this continental world having asteroid impacts. These can give great bonuses, such as plus 5 minerals from jobs, such as this one. There's also planetary features on the planet. You can see these in the features tab, and they can provide great bonuses, like this relic world can provide a great research base, as well as being able to upgrade it into a Euconopolis. Typically, if you do want to do some specialized worlds, relic worlds, and worlds with sort of modifiers that boost research, such as this one here, such as providing plus 15% society and plus 15% happiness, will generate you a lot of more research for your buck. Now on to tip number 7. Spamming out science ships in the early game allows you to survey the galaxy quicker, as well as get a lot of bonuses from researching anomalies such as research and other good things. And another benefit to these is once you have a certain amount of scientists and they're well trained, and you have the DLC that introduces archaeologies, these scientists that aren't doing anything can be put better to use to excavation, or even boosting, assisting research on your planets, which I will go into later on another tip. And you can see already we have quite a few anomalies going on. Much like this, see, you can get a great bonus of several hundred research, which scales based on your research production. And these can provide a very nice early game boost to your empire, which could help you get ahead of your rivals. As I mentioned earlier, with scientists, you can provide additional research to your planets with the Assist Research button. Now when you do this, it'll give the planet a modifier based on the level of the scientist, as well as a base prediction boost of 10%. Now the boost you get from the research level is 2% per level. So once you get some higher level scientists, you can get really high bonuses, such as 20 to 26% bonuses from higher level scientists. And you can see how this could be particularly useful in the late game. If you get 25% more research, that 25% could mean life and death to your empire in the future. Now on to tip number 9. Having multiple pops on one planet isn't always beneficial. Yes, you can have various bonuses from having second-class citizens in your empire, providing less upkeep for more resources. But having multiple demographics forces you into the interspecies prioritization, which means any random pop can grow here. Now the problem with this is that, as you can see here, a lot of pops have some bad traits. Now you may not want those, as well as them having a lower habitability. But let's say, oh, well, you can just prioritize your species here, as you can see. But doing this gives you a minus 10% pop growth speed, as well as reducing the current population growth progress by 15%. So we can see here, it's locked in, and we are having our pop grow, but it's still 10% slower. Now on to tip number 10. with the new release of the Overlord DLC, there's new option for proposed subjugation. Now, if your enemy empire, or the empire you want to subjugate, is suspicious, they won't allow you to do it. You can get around this by offering a trade deal and giving them lots of credits, such as this. I'll give them several thousand here until we get a maximum of 100 positive acceptance. Any more, and they won't actually gain any more relations. Just wait for them to accept that. Now they're onto a neutral, so we can establish an embassy and get better relations with them. You can also make sure to assign some envoys onto them in order to get better relations. Now once you've got some good relations, I've got them up to cordial here, and I got a few different deals with them. We can go into subjugation. Now we'll need some influence, so I'm just gonna open up the console here real quick, just to give me some for the purposes of this video. And basically, you can give them expansion permitted. This just lets them expand. Expansion regulated is fine. That gives you some more influence as long as you every time they expand. Holdings. If you get, we go into this later, as there's some benefit to this. United Sensors, and you can see that they've got quite a bit of an acceptance level due to these agreements, as well as my total power as an empire. And you basically can just quickly vassalize these empires here if we don't get spammed with a bunch of events. And see, very nice. And now we've just gotten this empire as a vassal for basically free, or if you count that for a few thousand energy credits I spent, as well as the time spent with the envoys to improve relations. But you know, overall, basically just free vassal. Later on, you can modify the contract to get to integration. You'll have to give them some like things, of course, like strategic resources or something that would maybe make them better. And you have to make sure that loyalty is also high as well, or they won't accept any negotiation changes. Now on to tip number 11. Make sure to have fleets in your more inner systems, as you can get these pirate fleets that spawn in, and these guys can do a lot of damage to your trade. Like, take for example, now we are making 1,102, and just taking that out, we made 100 more energy. Now if we move on to this fleet here too, let me just jump over here real quick. We're at almost 1,300. Now we're going to quickly defeat this fleet. And hold on. Now we have over 1,400 trade just from defeating these systems. Due to the pirate fleets, they'll block your trade routes, as you can see here, and they'll decrease your trade value and trade protection. And so you want to have ships around these routes to protect your trade. The lower the value is, see, we're due to piracy, we're losing 100% of our value. So if we put some ships over here in these three systems, we'll be able to get actually 107 more energy credits, or depending on your trade policy. Where is it here? There's also two others where you can get consumer goods and society research. Just making sure and checking your trade routes every once in a while for things like your high piracy and stuff, and putting ships there to patrol and decrease that can help lower the strain on a large empire and boost its economy overall. Now on to tip number 12 here. Fortifying systems with a citadel can provide a powerful bonus in defense against an enemy who is far superior to you. You can provide bonuses such as gun batteries, missile batteries, hangar bays. Stations also have the bonus resources of these buildings that can reduce sublight speed of enemy ships. shield hit points of enemy ships, as well as boost your ship fire rate, and several other bonuses, such as increasing cap. And then we'll just give all these bonuses here real quick. And there we go, build those up. And if you max out the build defense platforms here, you've got a 35k fleet's power strong station. This is even maxed out. We're only half the defense platforms. And enemy ships here get -20 light speed and -20 shield hit points, as well as your ships getting more powerful if you include the command center bonus. So you get 10% more ship fire rate, as well as debuffing their ships severely. And so basically, having a station like this, as well as fortress worlds in the specializations, by building a lot of fortresses on the planet, you can make a hard nut to crack in a choke point that could potentially turn the tide of a losing war to your benefit. Now on to tip number 13, you can release sectors as vassals. This can be great for managing your empire size late game. As we can see, this could provide, at our current empire size, we are getting some horrible debuffs, such as +78 research cost, or technology cost rather, and +156 tradition adoption cost. Now going to our sectors page, we can see all these different sectors. Now if we were to create a vassal, just randomize the name here, you can choose the species you hit, and then you release these guys as a vassal. And you can negotiate their contract here. And now we got the turtle hierarchy there. Note, you do have to be at peace to do this, as well as they'll take every system and planet within that sector. So you'll want to be careful on releasing these, because sometimes they'll take more than you actually want them to take. But now we on pause, and we lost quite a bit of empire size. And they'll reduce the overall drain on our empire, and provide us with a vassal that could potentially fight battles for us if we give them enough resources, and make us get stronger than our enemies, since they will have us high empire size while we don't. Yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more of this, and leave a comment if you want to see anything new. Liking this video will show that you actually like this kind of content of videos, because as of right now I'm trying to figure out some sort of format for my videos. That's why there's so much difference between the two. But yeah, see you in the next video, and have a good one.